Never let anybody see you sweat.
So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener.
I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw.
Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with this show.
Evan Brooks claims he took a date to the restaurant where his ex worked, and she spilled wine all over his suit. Lena Martinez says she was annoyed that the plaintiff showed up with his new woman, but says he spilled the wine on himself.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, you are suing Ms. Martinez for $899, the cost of your expensive suit, and a bottle of wine you shouldn't have been charged for. Tell me what is happening.
So I ended up going to dinner on a date, and it just so happened to be at the place where Lena Martinez ended up working. And while we were there, I had ordered a $450 bottle of Merlot, which while I was there, she ended up spilling all over me and the suit that I was wearing.
Okay, why don't we rewind a little? Do you know Lena Martinez?
Yes.
Who is Lena Martinez to you?
Lena Martinez is my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
We were together for almost 1 year, and she ended up dumping me about 5 days before our 1-year anniversary.
And so then on your 1-year anniversary, you went to the restaurant where you knew she worked.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so when you said a restaurant she ended up working at, it made it sound like it was a surprise, but you actually took a date to that restaurant.
Yes, so
All right.
what ended up happening was my date of the night ended up actually choosing the restaurant.
Really? And
We were
but you
looking-
knew that your ex-girlfriend worked there. Why didn't you say to her, "No, I don't want to go there. I've had a bad meal there"? Weren't you worried about showing up there and seeing your ex-girlfriend who just dumped you 5 days ago with a date?
I was worried a little bit.
Or
but
were you looking forward to that?
I was also
Okay.
at the same time hoping to get
Her attention.
her attention, yes.
Yeah. In fact, when you walked in, what was it you told the front desk before they sat you?
And there it is, the detail that completely changes the emotional context of this case. Evan didn't simply stumble into a restaurant and unexpectedly discover that his ex worked there. He admits he knew she worked there, knew the breakup had happened only 5 days earlier, wanted her attention, and specifically asked to be seated in her section. Legally, that doesn't automatically mean he's responsible for whatever happened afterward, but it absolutely matters when the judge evaluates credibility and the sequence of events. His lawsuit is about property damage, yet the background tells the court why this interaction was already emotionally charged before the wine ever moved. And here's the question for you. If your ex showed up 5 days after a breakup with another date and specifically requested your section, would you believe that was innocent? Or would you assume they came looking for a reaction?
I ended up asking the front desk if we could sit in her section.
Ah, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And then what happened?
And then Lena ended up acting like she didn't recognize me, so I exchanged the courtesy, just acting like we didn't know each other, and my date and I ended up eating quite a bit. We ended up ordering the $450 bottle of Merlot, which I had heard was a very good wine.
From me.
From you, what does that mean?
I had told him before that I had got to try it. It's
Okay.
really
so he did that
expensive
on, so what your point is he did that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And after the bottle
He knows how to pack a punch, I'll give him that. Go ahead.
After the bottle ended up being served, my ex, Lena, ended up spilling the bottle.
How did she spill it? She took it and poured it on you? I don't know what you mean.
No, so my date at the time ended up asking to have her take a photo of us.
Your poor date. Does your date know that that was your ex-girlfriend of 5 days ago?
No.
And that it's all a big charade to get her attention and that she was a pawn in the play? She's gonna know now.
She was not aware at the time, Your Honor.
Is she aware now?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you tell her?
After just the fiasco of my entire suit getting completely ruined.
Then you told your date? Like right there at the table or later?
When I ended up taking her back.
What'd you tell her?
I ended up telling her that, you know, I think that she might have done it on purpose to ruin the date because it just.
Because she dumped me 5 days ago?
Yeah.
You said that?
Yes.
And what was her reaction?
Her reaction was that she didn't seem all that thrilled about being there.
Did you go on a second date with her?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. All right, so let's go back to the spill, all right?
Yes.
What exactly happens? Your date asks
Lena here to take
a picture of the two of you.
Yes.
And then what happened?
So Lena ended up reaching for my phone, and instinctively I went to grab it because it was just kind of a shock of her just going straight for the phone instead of asking for the phone. And in doing so, she reached back in a jolt and knocked the bottle over onto me in the suit.
Are you saying that it is her body that knocks over the wine?
Yes. And then after it falls onto me, it falls onto the floor, breaking, in which case I then had to pay for the full bottle.
And not drink it?
Correct.
Okay.
I thought that the bottle would have been comped because she was the one that knocked it over, and...
Did she say, oh goodness, I'm sorry?
From my recollection, she did not.
Okay.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
He is the one who knocked over the bottle.
Yes, the wine rolled off of the table after he spilled it on himself.
According to you, her arm hits. According to her, your arm hits.
And later,
I never dealt with such situations like that before. I didn't even know at first.
Objection? I don't know where you think you are.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Evan Brooks, who is suing Lena Martinez for negligence.
Ms. Martinez, take it away.
From my perspective, I broke up with Evan because he was a terrible boyfriend, and the last straw was that 5 days before our anniversary, we don't even live together at this point, I was cleaning up after him in my own apartment and thought, I don't want to do this. I don't want a 1-year anniversary with this person. He took it really hard.
What were your complaints about him as a boyfriend?
We never went anywhere fun together. Like, he was taking this woman out on this big steakhouse dinner, and that was their first date. And I feel like we had never been out on a date like that. And he's buying her the bottle of wine. You never
Talk to me, not him. Go ahead.
He buys her this bottle of wine, but he would never do that for me.
Right.
The one time we did go on a trip, a 2-day trip, was for his cousin's wedding, which is how he got that suit, because I bought it for him for that wedding.
Why were you buying him a suit? Why didn't he buy his own suit?
He didn't have the money for the suit that he
But he
wanted.
had the money for the Merlot. And when you say he would never buy that for you, you do understand that he bought that Merlot that night precisely for you, right? Just not for you to drink.
Not for me to drink.
But for it to hurt you.
Yes.
Right. So I have a question. When you realize that the guy you dumped 5 days ago is there with a date, and did you know he had asked for your section? When did you learn that he had asked that?
Afterward.
After everything, after the whole fiasco? Okay. So you see that your ex-boyfriend is there. Why don't you just ask the restaurant to, switch you with someone else for that table?
I knew he was trying to get to me.
Right, I know. That's why I'm saying, why don't you just... Because that's the way to neutralize his attempt.
I wanted to show him that even if he's not going to be mature, I can be mature, and I was just going to serve
honey,
him.
why would you put yourself through that? The best revenge is to not care. So the best move you can make is to remove yourself from the discomfort, and that's it.
Judge Milian just delivered a lesson that goes beyond the lawsuit. Sometimes the strongest reaction is no reaction at all. Lena says she stayed at the table because she wanted to prove she could be mature even if Evan wasn't. The judge's point is that maturity doesn't necessarily require standing in the middle of somebody else's provocation. Walking away, switching sections, or letting another server handle the table could have removed much of the tension immediately. But remember, that still doesn't answer the legal question. The court isn't deciding who handled the breakup better. It's deciding whether Evan can prove Lena negligently caused his financial loss. And now we have two people with obvious emotional baggage giving completely opposite descriptions of the same few seconds. So put yourself in the judge's position. Whose version sounds more credible so far?
And that's it, you know? In any event, let's talk about what does happen. What happened with the wine?
He had been antagonizing me for an hour and a half at this point, finding extra tasks for me to do.
Yes. Right.
Right. So I obviously was feeling like it was getting a rise out of me, but not letting it, and trying to stay calm. What happened was she asked for a photo, and I don't know if it's just the familiarity of his phone. It's on the edge of the table. I said, sure, and I just put my hand down the nearest phone and went to pick it up. And what actually happened was he reached for the phone in a big lunge, and it makes sense to me why he would do that, because he has been very secretive, and so I imagine
You're not going to stand there as a waitress who's been asked to take a picture and scroll, and then there's no right. And then what did he do? He went in and did what?
He went in to grab the phone, so I instinctually stopped reaching, and as he grabbed the phone and snatched his hand back, he knocks over the wine toward himself.
So your testimony is that he is the one who knocked over the bottle?
Yes, the wine rolled off of the table after he spilled it on himself, and it would not have been safe to serve them the wine with the broken glass.
Because the
tip broke off.
The tip broke off.
But
I'll tell you what, if it was my house, I would have taken a sieve and poured, I wouldn't have let go of $450 of Merlot, but that's just my house. Did you ever tell your boss that was your ex-boyfriend? I'm just curious.
At that point, yes, because I thought, oh, he's gonna cause a sting.
Right. No, you were smart to take the sting out of it and go in first and explain things. So now you're suing for $899, which is the value of the suit she bought you. But you're right, it's your suit. And the value of what else? The bottle.
Just the bottle, yes.
Yeah. And how are you going to prove your case? Because when you come into court, you're the plaintiff, so that means you have the burden of proof. You have to prove by a preponderance of the evidence. That means it's more likely than not that your version is true and not her version. Okay? I know that you are petty as hell. Okay? And I know that she was hurt. So it could go either way. I have no idea who pushed the bottle of wine. But I know that you're the guy who set everything in motion. And I know that you're the guy who grabbed the phone. Why are you grabbing the phone? Let her take the phone. What's she going to do? She's not going to read your phone for hours. She's just going to take a picture and go down. You can go on with your merry, horrible thing that you're doing. Out of spite. Why do you grab for the phone?
It was just out of pure instinct.
Okay,
I was just
well,
not
all right.
expecting.
So you're there out of pure instinct to hurt her. You're there out of revenge. You're having an $800 meal where you know that the reason she dumped you is because you don't pay attention to her or spend, any time with her or do romantic things. So you're doing it with a woman you just met, and then you're the guy grabbing for phones. And according to you, her arm hits. According to her, your arm hits. How are you going to prove your case? I'll tell you what. I'll take you out of your misery. You're not. Verdict for the defendant.
All rise.
And that's the consequence of failing to meet the burden of proof. The judge isn't necessarily declaring that Lena's version can be proven with absolute certainty. Instead, she's saying Evan has not shown enough to justify making Lena pay his $899 claim. His own admissions damaged his position. He intentionally went where his freshly former girlfriend worked, asked for her section, wanted her attention, and then reached for the phone during the exact interaction that resulted in the spill. The judge ultimately views him as the person who deliberately created this uncomfortable confrontation and then failed to prove Lena legally caused the loss. Verdict for the defendant. Now tell me what you think. Was this simply an unfortunate accident after a petty decision? Or do you think one of them knew exactly what they were doing when that wine hit the floor?
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I'm glad she got away from you.
That was supposed to be your dinner, at least.
Okay. Exit this way, please. Make sure you grab all of your belongings. Ladies first.
Coming up,
Literally got a tea kettle that he's pouring on the...
Boiling water on my windshield.
Okay, no.
And it shatters.
This is Physics 101.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Derek Fremont claims his windshield cracked when his ex-roommate poured boiling water over it to remove ice. Jay Connolly says the plaintiff asked him to get rid of the ice, and he was doing a favor that he thought would work.
Okay, Mr. Fremont, you were suing Mr. Connolly for $1,000 in property damage to your windshield. How do you two know each other?
We were roommates in college.
Okay, and how long ago was college?
Your Honor, that was 3 years ago.
All right, what happened?
So we were going for a New Year's Eve party up in New York. I'm from New Jersey, and so he flew in from California to New Jersey. And on that trip,
Where'd you guys go to college?
Went to Syracuse.
Okay.
In upstate New York.
Yeah.
And so he met me in New Jersey, and we drove up on New Year's Eve day up to New York. And on that morning, I asked him to clean off the windshield of my car, and he did so. I didn't think anything of it. So we had a night out together with some of our college friends, and that next morning we woke up. I asked him to, again, clean off my windshield.
Why don't you do it yourself? I'm wondering why you're, hey, clean up my windshield. Like, I'm wondering why.
I had to take care of some things, and so it was just an act of friendship. I asked him to do it, and he did it.
So what happens then?
That morning, he is dumping boiling, extremely hot water on my windshield.
No.
And it shatters.
Okay, wait. Where did he get the boiling water?
From an electric kettle inside of my house.
So he's literally got a tea kettle that he's pouring on the...
Boiling water on my windshield.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Connolly.
I was not aware of this. I never dealt with such situations like that before. I didn't
Objection,
even know
Your Honor.
at first.
Objection? Oh, I don't know where you think you are.
Coming up,
So when someone tells you, hey, de-ice my window, why isn't your answer, huh? Why isn't it, I don't know how to do that, what am I supposed to do?
It worked the first time. I didn't see any problem with it.
And you thought that was fabulous.
Yes.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Derek Fremont, who brought Jay Connolly to court for property damage.
Where are you from?
I'm from California,
Which part of California?
Los Angeles.
It's all sunny. All right, so okay, have you ever had a car in the north?
No. I have not.
So when someone tells you, hey, de-ice my window, why isn't your answer, huh? Why isn't it, I don't know how to do that, what am I supposed to do?
Well, given my situation, I didn't want to have to deal with him being erratic towards me, because usually, even in college, he does have a bit of an erratic, more frantic type
Right, but if you don't know how to, what was your plan? When someone tells you, hey, de-ice my, what was your plan? Do you know what you're supposed to do or do you not?
Well, at first, I was going to scoop up the ice from the windshield.
Okay, so you were doing the thing everybody does.
Yes.
And then what?
When the scooping didn't work out at first, I thought maybe, at first when I did it the first time, when we were going to Brooklyn, I thought of why not put water in a mug, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then slowly pour it all on the windshield. And it worked the first time. I didn't see any problem with it.
And you thought that was fabulous.
Yes, I didn't see any.
You wondered why everyone doesn't do that.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And then what?
Then the second
second
This
time-
testimony may have just made the plaintiff's case significantly stronger. Jay admits that the first time he used heated water, it appeared to work. Instead of treating that as luck, he seems to have treated it as proof that the method was safe. Then, on the second attempt, he escalated from water heated briefly in a microwave to a kettle full of boiling water, and even admits he poured it faster. Immediately afterward, the windshield developed a crack. That's a very clear sequence for the judge to examine. Action, result, and an admitted change toward a more extreme method. The fact that something worked once doesn't necessarily make it safe. So here's the question. If an unsafe shortcut works the first time, does that excuse using it again? Or does the person still have a responsibility to check before taking the risk?
The second time,
when you're leaving,
I did it again.
But this time with a kettle full of boiling water.
Yes.
How'd that go?
Well, when I poured it on more fast than last time. So aftermath of it was that it left a crack. It left a crack across the windshield, and I was surprised by it because it didn't do that before. I had no idea it
Where'd
would
you guys
do
go to
that.
college?
Syracuse,
Right.
upstate New York.
This is Physics 101.
Judge Milian's verdict when justice for the people returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
Did you go over them? This is what I want you to do. Turn on the car, there's a defrost button, put that on, and then start hitting it with the ice. I'll be right back.
I just assumed that asking a friend for a favor would have a responsibility to act
So this
reasonably.
really there's a $1,000 bill for replacing the windshield, right? And you think he should pay it, and you think he should pay it. And what this really falls on is, whose fault is this? Is it his fault for not explaining it to you? Or is it your fault for not saying, I'm gonna need you to explain it to me? And saying, sure. And then just coming up with your own ways that defy physics to pour boiling water on where did you even see that? I mean, like, if you're gonna do something like that to someone's car, wouldn't you take 2 seconds and look it up or something?
At the moment, I was not thinking about that.
I'll say.
Again, I didn't want to have to deal with him.
Instead of, if you don't know what you're doing, don't take the responsibility to do it. Once you take the responsibility to do it, you gotta do it competently. And competently does not involve pouring boiling water on frozen glass, because there's gonna be a thermal shock reaction. You know, if you don't know how to do something, don't come up with your own solution to doing it, because this is the risk that you run. $1,000 verdicts for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $1,000.
Jay, you probably think genius starts with a J.
And Derek, don't let the crazy hit you on the way out.
Exit this way, please.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.